Right, a Detroit mega pastor caught cheating. Side piece writes a book. Now, is that not nightmare fuel or what? Fellas out there, any of my men with mistresses and stuff like that, if they were to ever write a fucking book, would you like flip the fuck out? Yeah, you know. Thank goodness a lot of us aren't that famous. But no, I'm just kidding. Like this particular pastor was already kind of messy to begin with. You know what I mean? Like just to keep it 100% transparent. Like I remember a while back he had this video with Ariana Grande where he is kind of holding and touching her in a very uncomfortable way. So let's just look at that to kind of shape what we're reading and give us a better idea of who we're dealing with. For those who aren't familiar of who he is.
I've got to apologize because I have to brush.
Now, if you look here, look how he's got all that. Look how she's like kind of like just distancing off, and then this guy's just like zoned out. I don't know what he's looking at, but this is uncomfortable. This is why I'm not a hug guy. I'm not gonna hug no woman or ask for a hug. I'm just gonna like dap them up, or even better, just wave. Because not everybody wants to be touched, and it's not anything against you. It's just anybody else would be hit with that same apprehension. So I think a respecting of people's personal space is very important. So let's just look at him completely disregarding Ariana Grande's personal space, who's looking quite stunning, by the way.
Up. My 28-year-old daughter tells me, "Dad, you are old at 60." When I saw Ariana Grande on the program, I thought that was a new something at Taco Bell. Girl, let me give you all your respect. Your
That
respect.
clinch was a little suspect there. Let's go back and look at that clinch, and we're also going to run it back in slow. Well, no, we're not. We're not going to run back somebody's possible assault in slow motion. If it got missed, it was a very
Girl, let me give
suspect
you all your
clinch, yo.
respect.
We're not going to run it back in slow motion. I was really bugging by saying that. All right, so let's have a look at the video. I mean, not the video. All right, let's go ahead and have a look at what they said here about him. 7 years ago, the world collectively gasped when Bishop Charles H. Ellis III, the mega pastor of Detroit's Greater Grace Temple, got a little too familiar with pop princess Ariana Grande. During Aretha Franklin's marathon funeral, yes, we all remember that on-camera groping incident that instantly went viral and forced the bishop to issue a public apology. At the time, Bishop Ellis told AP, maybe I crossed the border, maybe I was too friendly. He chalked it up to the church culture. All love and hugs, and he swore he meant no harm. The scandal rocked both gospel and pop circles, but eventually faded into the archives of internet trauma. That's very true. I remember hearing about this, and it was a very big deal for maybe about a week or two. I think I even talked about it on this channel a while back when it happened. Um, but yeah, nothing really came of it, not to my knowledge. But now it's back to the pulpit of shame. Pulpit of shame, and this time it's way messier. This week, a woman claiming to be Bishop Elliot's longtime mistress came forward, and she's not holding anything back. According to her social media post, not only was she romantically involved with the married pastor, but she's also writing a tell-all titled The Bishop, His Wife, and Me. Somebody alert Lifetime because that title is already giving Sunday night drama. It kinda does. I can agree with that statement. And Sis brought receipts. She posted photos confirming their alleged relationship and is now on what looks like a full-blown PR campaign to promote her upcoming book. And if that wasn't enough tea, there are whispers of a joint bank account bearing the bishop's name. We're talking scandal with an invoice. Ooh. So that means she has literal receipts from the ATM that she's getting the money from for their joint account. So they actually have a joint account together, which I find to be absolutely outrageous. How can you be a married man with a joint account with another woman not involved in your marriage? It's just outright despicable. In response, Bishop Ellis did confirm that he had an inappropriate relationship with the woman, but he insisted it happened over 15 years ago, and he claims he already went through a redemptive process with his church leaders at the time. He says he got counseling and was held accountable, back then. So right after I had my baby is when it started. Oh wow, the day he christened my son in his office, 2002. He christened my baby in his house because I wasn't married, and this is the inception of the relationship. That's me and my two children, and my friend and her children. I was 22, he was 47. But now he says the new accusations are deeply troubling and untrue, and has enlisted legal firepower. Attorney Gerald Evelyn to look into things, particularly that joint bank account. It's serious when the bishop is checking the routing numbers. Yeah, that is true. When you're checking the routing numbers and you're the bishop, it's getting pretty serious. In the email sent out to his congregation, Ellis asked for prayers, not just for himself and his family, but also for the woman making the claims. He says he hopes everyone can find peace and healing. Now that's something I hope for too, because like this might look like it's trying to be salacious and messy, but maybe there are some real feelings here. Maybe this is a real person suffering and making noise. But let's be real, if the book drops and it has even half the juice it's promising, peace may not be on the immediate menu. So now we wait. Will the mistress spill every last communion crumb? Will Bishop Ellis survive yet another scandal? Or will this be the sermon that finally breaks the bishop? Either way, somebody cue the organ because this church drama just went full blown prime time. So I think that was a pretty nice article to read. Now, what we can gather here is it seems like this pastor was messing around on his wife, and now some woman is writing a book about their whole escapades that happened over 15 years ago. So that's it's a long time. Well, people 15 years is like a long time. That's a decade and a half ago. Like you could be a whole nother person. So it's like talking about a person that probably doesn't. He's so far from who that person was. Granted, we understand like we're all humans. People make mistakes. Nobody's impervious to making mistakes. Now, I do admit that when you are somebody who's a religious figure of sorts, you should definitely try to hold yourself to a higher standard because people look up to you. This might have really disappointed a lot of his followers. So, you know, it's craziness. Just make sure you like and subscribe. That's what you got to do. So, let's just take a moment to like and subscribe if you hadn't already. Um, but yeah, thanks for watching this video. Go ahead and drop your comments in the comment section. I'd like to know how you feel about this infidelity. Do you think that this is just her trying to be messy, or do you think this is really her trying to get her truth out? Because we have to leave room for that too. Sometimes we come here and we deal a lot with the mess and stuff like that. But I try to give a little more substance here, and yeah, I think maybe she's trying to give a little more substance to her life, and maybe let her story be heard. But anyway, let your story be heard in the comments. This is King Chemo, and I'm out.